Are engaged visbigid. I don't know who's in here. Alright guys, welcome to HRL Season 6, round number 12, I believe. Yop, Dune's Edge GP. One of the final races of the season. This is actually part of a two-parter. It's a doubleheader this night. As I show off the track a little bit, go through the qualifying results. Top 5 in qualifying. Real Deal with the pole with the 43.36. Roman second with the 43.488. Luke third with the 43.514. Hunter fourth with the 43.534. And Detail fifth with the 43.555. So there's your top 5 in qualifying. Heat winners. Real Deal and whoops, my thingy is cheese. There we go. Real Deal and Roman won the heat winners, heat 1 and 2 respectively. And then Real Deal took the semi win. That's pretty much the track right there. Go through the lineup. I think there is one driver missing, but shouldn't affect us calling it out. Whoops. Probably let him get on the goods there. Okay. So, on the left we have Real Deal, on the right Roman. In this next row, on the left Phil, and on the right Hunter. And then on the left Opix, on the right Vulcan with some weird new colors, kind of throwing me off a little bit. On the left Detail, on the right Luke, on the left Slunch, on the right Camby, on the left Armada, on the right, who is that cheeser? Who is that cheeser? I think that might be Shift. Yep. Shift switches colors up, by the way. I guess he's running the cyan now. Going to the final row on the left. This is where it gets a little confusing. In the left sector, running in stupid white colors because he's dumb. And on the right, Elite. Keep an eye out for the lights to switch. That's when we're going to be going green. And green flag. Pretty clean start so far. It's going to be pretty close going through the chicane. And what the cheese was that in the back of the pack? That was really interesting, but I'm not sure what that was in the back of the pack. But for the most part, the front of the pack, what is that one? Is that Armada with a huge drive up the hill? What the heck? It looked like Armada went into 4th gear and nobody else did. Vulcan flying off the track. Very interesting start so far. That was like a NOS run up the hill. That was really weird. And then what the heck just happened up there? Phil with some lag, it looks like. He was looking pretty competent for a top 3 spot and then just like lags out or something. Some close battles in the middle of the pack at the line. Front 3. Whoa, Phil with some more lag. Almost getting into these backpack drivers and lags out right there. And unfortunately, his goose just gets cheesed right in the middle of the chicane, so that's unfortunately going to be a obstacle for the rest of this race. Tried to keep it going green. It's Real Deal, Roman, Opix, Detail, and Hunter. That's your current top 5. And then for this like outside the top 5 battle, pretty close right now. A lot of people here. Looks like Detail might have just overtaken Opix for 3rd place. And it looks like it. So that's going to be Detail taking over the podium position right there. The final podium position. And as you can see, that goose is in a pretty bad spot. Just good enough to keep the race green. Like it's just out of the way enough, but it's still kind of dangerous. Especially if 2 drivers had to go too wide there. I'd probably recommend one of them backing off. Even though I know what would happen, neither of them would want to back off, and both would probably end up getting wrecked because they're both dumb. Nobody wants to let off in a situation like that. But hopefully we don't see any situations like that where there's actually a too wide going down the front stretch into the chicane, because that would be kind of rough. As you can see throughout the mid pack and even towards the back. I mean, we have some semi people that are pretty far towards the back, so I think there's a lot of battles here left to go down for the rest of this race. Specifically, these 3 spots right here are getting pretty close. Details started to stretch a gap on Opix, but this battle between Opix, Hunter, and Slaunch is getting pretty close. This is for 4th, 5th, and 6th. And you have 7th and 8th, which is Camby and Luke. 9th. Ooh, Camby going down. 9th, which is Armada, but that's going to switch. Ooh, good battle right there. It's going to end up being Luke 7th, Armada 8th, and now Camby 9th. So, rough break for Camby right there. Got a little bit loose, and Armada and Luke both just taking advantage of the mistake. But Camby might be able to get Armada back here. Armada went really aggressive into that final hairpin and kind of screwed himself over, to be honest. Camby has a huge run. Okay, we got to watch. We got to see what happens. Oh, no. Armada tried to play it safe by going a little bit more inside than Camby and ended up hitting the pole. That is unfortunate. Oh, Slaunch with the spin out on the exit of that corner. Now going to lose a position to Luke. That's going to put Slaunch down to 7th, I believe. Luke up to 6th. And remember, this is Opix and Hunter up here for 4th and 5th. So that battle for the top 5 is still roaring on. And on top of that, we still have some pretty good battles here, like Armada and Vulcan. Just making sure it wasn't Camby. Armada and Vulcan right there, still pretty close. Have a lot of little two-way packs right here, so I have to keep an eye on them because we've got like 3 little 2 sets of battles here going. And this is the one that's the most important and could heat up the fastest. Opix and Hunter. Looks like Hunter's making some gains, but making a pass on this track is not very easy. So it's all about timing. It's all about being aggressive when you actually like get the right chance to make the move. It's right there on Opix's bumper. See if you can do anything in the chicane. Not quite. Not quite. Looks like it's going to stay clean, but Opix is going to have to, well, Hunter really is going to have to think about getting aggressive here, because if you look at it, Luke's catching pretty quickly and Slaunch isn't too far behind him, so this could become a pretty big battle here very soon if this battle between Opix and Hunter keeps continuing. We could see it become a 4-way, maybe even a 5-way battle, because honestly the rest of those guys aren't that far behind either, or Camby at least isn't that far behind. The rest of them have a bit of a gap. There goes Hunter, just going to shove Opix out of the way, and that was the move. Hunter going to overtake, what is that, 4th place right there, and Luke's also going to take advantage and go into 5th. And it's just a unfortunate break for Opix, really, because he's going to end up losing 2 spots right there when he could have done some damage control, held it to only 1 spot. Side by side, up the hill, getting pretty close for these positions. Oh, Hunter with the spin out! That was unfortunate. That really came out of nowhere, honestly. Like, it looked like they were racing pretty clean, and then Hunter just loses it going into the rumble strip, so unfortunate for him. He's going to fall back behind Opix again now, so that's going to throw Luke up into 4th, Opix back into 5th, Hunter into 6th, and Slaunch still in 7th. So, yeah, not too much really. I mean, if you think about it, everything's, Luke moved up. Besides that, everything kind of stayed the same. Opix is still ahead of Hunter. Hunter is still ahead of Slaunch. For the most part, most things reverted right there, and these guys are still like in that same battle. Let's get a quick update on the lead. This has gotten stretched quite a bit. The Real Deal and Roman 1-2, and honestly, they're still pretty close. Like, it's not. This gap is definitely a mistake away from being a race, from being a really tight race. Surprised by how close they still are. And then Detail's got a huge gap to catch up, and he's got a huge gap behind him as well. So he's like probably the safest, honestly. And then same thing goes for Luke, really. Huge gap in front of him, huge gap behind. And then you have this little pack right here. Got Opix. Oh, Opix let off a little too much right there, trying to play it safe. Going to give up that position to Hunter. Camby's going to take a position from Slaunch. Vulcan is now into this. Oh, and they both have the run on Hunter. What is up with this uphill shift action? This is really weird. Reminds me of the Altaterra uphill where random gains would just be made on the uphill. It's like one of the biggest spots of the track to make gains. Still kind of odd. This is a really nice pack right here. And, you know, Hunter has got to be really satisfied with getting that pass when he did. Because look at all this. Look at all this battling. Like, very fortunate for Hunter that he got around exactly when he did, because now he doesn't have to deal with any of this. He should have a really good shot at holding on to that top 5 now. And really, Vulcan, I would say, is the most impressive out of all this. He's came from really far back. Like, I don't know if it was last, but he's come from pretty far back in the pack to working his way up here to possibly getting by Opix for 6th. So this is a pretty good event so far for Vulcan, after having a crappy start, to say the least. Let's check the time. Alright, we still have about 2 minutes. Oh, what the heck? Random... What? What just happened there? Hold on. Review time. So what I want to see first, how did Vulcan even lose this momentum? So he's trailing Opix. Everything looks pretty usual. Pretty normal right here. And I don't know. He's just super slow through there. I'm not really sure quite what that was. And then avoids the, that might be penalty worthy. I'll have to check the results on that. I don't know how I feel about that. But as for viewing the race, we're going to continue on here. How was that lag bubble? He just completely lost speed randomly. I don't know if that's lag. Why would Opix hit the brakes in that corner? That corner's all out. Either way, it's still like a 5-way pack here. One mistake could lead to a bunch of position changes. Close battle here with Opix, trying to hold off Slaunch. Opix really has been trying to hold off this pack. Oh! And Vulcan goes down. Well, there's the karma for it, I guess. And that's unfortunate for him. He's going to lose a lot of time off of that. Lose a lot of positions. I mean, Vulcan's race is pretty much over at this point. He did... these freaking trees, dude. He did a pretty good job of working his way back through the pack this entire race, but just one mistake like that possibly ruined the entire thing. You guys need to stop. Friggin' chat, you're dumb. Let's check the time here, 50:29. I believe the end time is 41 flat, right? So it's 51 flat. So we're getting pretty close to the end of the race here. I want to keep watching this battle, but we're going to have to check with the leaders here in like 15 seconds or so, because we're getting pretty close to the end of this race. In fact, I mean, there's a huge gap here that we're working with. Oh man, this is going to get really interesting. Let's stay on with these guys for just a moment. We'll check the time, 50:56, okay. Let's see if this pass can be completed. Oh, now it's a 3-wide battle. What is going on? Oh, Armada could be the beneficiary. What just happened? Armada is going to the front. Oh no, I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Armada almost just made the biggest move of his return. That was almost amazing. He could still do it. Everybody's shoving. This is insane. Alright, screw the lead battle for now. Vulcan is back in this. Okay, that was a little that was a little track cutty. God, that was almost the best move of all time by Armada. That was actually really impressive. Alright, let's get back here with our lead group. It looks like it's settling down a little bit. Oh my god. So I believe Real Deal just hit white flag. I'm not really 100% sure on that, so we'll watch how it ends here. Fireball's not a beast. He's one of the worst Halo players I've ever seen. Coming around the final corners. Should be a 3 Moto win streak here for Real Deal. Couldn't come at a better time in the season. And something must have happened to Roman, because he's pretty far off now. So he's just stretched this gap. And let's see if he pulls off. That is it. That is the win for Real Deal. Roman's going to come second. Detail, who actually pretty much closed the gap almost. Quite a bit with Roman there, going to come third. Luke's going to come fourth. Hunter's going to take fifth. So I think we could, we could have predicted that top 5 pretty easily from like 3 minutes to go in the Moto. And Sanch's going to take 6th. Opix 7th. Armada's going to beat Vulcan at the line. Let me see how that was put in the results, because I actually did not review that. Ooh, the results. We have some drama. The results has Vulcan ahead of Armada at the line, and these are not facts. I just discovered this right now. Okay, first of all, well, whatever. Yeah, that's definitely Armada at the line. So I'll have to change that in the results. Chat, make sure you remind me before I get off. I mean, I'll switch it right now on the results page, but then I gotta update the points. So I actually didn't know that. Armada actually beats Vulcan at the line pretty clearly there for the photo finish. Pretty obvious. Alright. So, try to get a nice shot here. First Moto finishing order is Real Deal, Roman, Detail, Luke, Hunter, Slaunch, and then Opix, Armada, Vulcan, Camby, Sector, Elite, Shift, and Phil. Rounding out the field there for first Moto results. Just realized I wasn't recording the entire time. That's fine though. I can go back and record it because movie magic. And bam, recorded. Easy money.